When I first walked into this lab and saw a young man named Derek receiving an arm that was made with a 3D printer, I was just blown away. I couldn't really believe it.
This whole thing started one morning when I saw this RoboHand video, which was created by Richard Van Ass, a South African carpenter, and Ivan Owen. They produced this RoboHand design and they put it on the web open source. I put this comment on the YouTube video. Okay, MakerBotters, if you're willing to receive inquiries from people who need a RoboHand, put yourself on the map.
The designs are all free and open source. The information, the instructions are all free and easy to access. And frankly, the devices themselves we give away for free.
You know, at some point it became clear that this thing was taking off. It was going to continue to grow, and that we had thousands, potentially tens of thousands of people who were going to be involved in this project.
We have a family friend who works here at RIT, and so she had mentioned it to us at a family party probably about 2 years ago. Awesome. Awesome.
But she went home with her first arm, I don't know, about 2 or 3 months ago, and she takes it to school. She's a hero in her class. She's really excited. She said, what I really like about it is I get to stack cups. When I visited her class, the other kids said, Lucy's stacking cups now, and she's really good. And so that's a big deal.
You go from being the kid with the funny hand to being the kid with the robot hand, or in some cases the kid with the superhero hand. Every time we make a new hand, I'm seeing it as a prototype. This is just the next version. What can we do to, almost before it's even off the printer, I'm already looking at ways to try and make it better.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to almost like fast pace what you would originally do with research and development. So you have one idea here, and you have another idea here, and you have someone who can help you make that idea either happen or even better.
There are no single inventors here.
He just published a sketch, and a high school student on a summer job in a lab across the country, in the same evening he started working on a CAD design trying to test John's idea.
He published his findings, and then Steve Wood ended up refining that and making it so that it would work in a hand. And then further it was refined to what we have currently by Skip Metzi, who works at our lab.
And reinvented a device that was named in the 19th century, I think, called a whippletree. I've been told recently that it was used for horse carriages.
So it was an idea that was taken through different members of the community and finally realized into what it is now.
So today, we now have what's called a tensioner box, which snaps into the grooves of the Raptor hand, which contains the whippletree, which is derived from that whole experimental lineage of half-baked ideas, which is producing a pretty slick package right now.
So from the original idea that we had for the whippletree to having an arm that we used, it took about 3 months.
In the ordinary marketplace that I've worked in for 40 years, that would probably take years.
Now, I can name most of the people who were involved in that process, except what about 20 or 30 people who cheered it on, or who offered criticism, or who said this didn't work, but that information was useful.
There are dozens of stories like this in the e-NABLE community, but as we continue to grow, it's beginning to get hard to find and to track and to push these contributions forward. So that's why we're starting to develop team tools for effective and enlightened mobs. These visualizations and interfaces will help more and more connected humanitarians continue to self-organize, innovate, and collaborate to produce ever better solutions for more and more people all over the world.
Our goal is to totally democratize the process so that any amputee can find an appropriate device and get access to the information and the design files and make themselves an assistive mechanical device.